Hi, and welcome to another episode of the After 90 Talk. After 90 Talk is a podcast dedicated to world football. I'm your host, Ivan Garcia, and as always, I'm here with my nephew, Andres. Andrew, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm a bit sick today, but I mean, regardless, I'm excited to start the show.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for being here anyway. Fight through it. I know these people want another update on world football, so let's get right into it.
Yeah.
We were not able to do a mid-week show specifically for the Champions League this week. We just, as you heard, Andres has been sick, and me personally, I'm always busy. But we will bring you just the highlights, the scores of more than anything, the scores of the midweek action in the Champions League. The Champions League is currently the best tournament for clubs in the European continent. So it's very exciting to watch. A lot of South American players taking part in that tournament, and they're stars in that tournament. So we'll get right into that. The scores of the quarterfinal action the round of 16 action that leads into the quarterfinal matches. So on Tuesday, Barcelona of Spain eliminating Benfica 3-1 score. Pretty good matchup of the two teams. Barcelona just a little bit better. And then just the individual players. There's actually one of the best goals that you're going to see in this tournament in that game from the 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. Just a spectacular strike from the 17-year-old. Andrew, anything quick on that game?
Well, yeah. I mean, after the first leg, it was looking kind of devastating for Barcelona. But I mean, again, I think we played very well the first leg, a man down for almost the whole game. And yeah, I think that extra man proved the point, especially for this game. I think it was a very comfortable win for us. Even though they did score, I think I think we're in control the whole game. And again, a positive result for Barcelona in the Champions League. We go through. We've kind of been unlucky the past couple of years, but it's positive to see this Barcelona team, push for hopefully a Champions League, result and probably a league. So just an exciting match and very comfortable for Barcelona.
Yeah. Also a very comfortable win for Inter Milan. In the tie, 4-1 in the tie. And then 2-1 on the night on Tuesday against Feyenoord, so eliminating the Dutch team. Mm-hmm. Another one of the shocking results. I don't know if you want to say shocking results, but PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, eliminating Liverpool in the city of Liverpool with a 1-0 win on the night, and then going through in a very exciting penalty kick. And so Liverpool, the current English Premier League leaders, are out, and Paris Saint-Germain will continue to fight for the Champions League title.
I just want to point. I said it last Champions League. I said if they can pull off a surprising win, and PSG did on penalties, but it was amazing, man.
It was a great match. It was a very exciting to watch. Recommend you guys go and watch the whole game rematch or the replay, or just the highlights, but a very, very good match. Elsewhere in the Champions League on Tuesday night, two German teams, Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, going head to head, but Bayern Munich being too much for the Bayer Leverkusen team. Bayern Munich 2-0 on the night, 5-0 on aggregate. Not much else to say there. Another German team going through this match on Wednesday is Borussia Dortmund beating Lille as an away team. Dortmund with a 2-1 victory against Lille, and they'll go through to the next round. Another one of the English teams in the competition. Aston Villa doing their job, 3-0 against Club Brugge. It was pretty much a done deal in the first leg, but still Aston Villa showing that they're one of the best teams in Europe. And then Arsenal continuing to do their job at home this time, 2-2 draw, but a 9-3 aggregate win for the Gunners, for Arsenal. They'll go through to the next round, and then one of the biggest matches of this round, the Derby Madrileño, Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, with Real Madrid edging over Atletico Madrid. Just winning on penalties as well, right?
Yeah.
A very controversial match because the penalty rounds. Julian Alvarez, out of all of just a controversial penalty, his controversial. I guess they called it a miss. I don't agree with that. Nephew, what are your opinion?
It's once science becomes involved in this, it's like it's difficult to tell. Obviously, what calculations of camera and all this stuff, it's difficult. The first time I saw the penalty, I thought it was a penalty. Yeah, I thought it was clean. I didn't see any contact or a second hand contact with the ball. But looking at the official angle that UEFA came out with, you can see that there's a slight touch, but it does suck though because it's so unlucky for not just Julian Alvarez, but the whole team. I think they played very, very well against that Real Madrid team. Even playing and going to extra time, I thought this again, like you said, it was very entertaining. It was just a very energetic match, and again, it's just unlucky for Atletico to pretty much crash out like this, and leave the Champions League. I think they've had a great season in general. But yeah, I mean, do you think there was a touch at all?
Yeah, I didn't see it even in the replays. Like they had to go down to a minute,
like a
very fraction of a second type replay, and I just don't agree with it. I think it takes away from the game. The factor of errors in the game, it just adds to it to all sports.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is where we're at in football.
Yeah, it's just unlucky.
It's
unlucky.
It's up to the people that make the decisions to fix this, I think. Mm-hmm. And then even the image that you that you brought up, that you cited, it to me that looks doctored. Mm-hmm. And especially with the stuff that they can do now with AI and modern technology and the cameras and stuff,
Yeah, I mean, you
that's my opinion.
Yeah, you hope to believe that what comes out is true. There's no, foul play. There's nothing wrong. So, yeah, and if it comes out saying that, they changed it, AI had something to do with it, then that's just Real Madrid's history since for like 100 years, man, to be honest.
Well, to move on, in the Champions League, the quarterfinal legs will begin on April 8th. 2 games April 8th, 2 games April 9th, and then the teams are as follows. Bayern Munich will take on Inter Milan. Bayern Munich, a team from Munich, Germany. And then Arsenal, the team from London, one of the teams from London, I should say, will take on Real Madrid. Elsewhere, another Spanish team in the competition, Football Club Barcelona, will take on Borussia Dortmund. PSG, the team from Paris Saint-Germain, will take on another English team in Aston Villa. So very exciting. The Champions League it gets really good. It gets heated up. The intensity rises, and the fans are just crazy over this. Not just in Europe, but all over the world.
Yeah.
So that'll be the Champions League, and again, we'll try and do our best to stay on top of these. It's really, we got to spend more time both watching and then making time to be able to sit down. So, that means that we need your support, right? We need you guys to follow, to share, to subscribe, comment. We need the engagement. So please help us, bring you more information and more shows to this channel. But then moving on into the next league that we want to cover is the La Liga. It's the first division in the country of Spain. This week, a lot of significant matches.
Yeah.
The league the leaderboards of the league are continuously shifting, mm-hmm. right? There's really 3 teams competing for the top position, but then there's 6 teams behind that pushing for other European competitions, right? Where they depending on how you do in the table determines whether you go into a Champions League or Europa, where then the following season where you play against the top teams from all over Europe. So this week, the games to highlight that we wanted to highlight from Saturday's action are the Girona 1-1 tie against the Valencia. Valencia, a historic team in the country of Spain, continuing to, I guess, to improve, Andrew.
Yeah.
They're winning points now on a consistent basis, if it's victories mm-hmm. or if it's ties, but they're getting those points that's helping them come out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
They want to stay in the first division, so it's important for them to continue to at least get points when the other teams are failing to do so, mm-hmm. And then that's going to help them stay, in the Spanish first division. Mm-hmm. The big match of Saturday, Villarreal, one of the top teams in the league currently, host Real Madrid. Real Madrid was able to beat them 2-1. A match from Kylian Mbappe, one of the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
players
yeah.
in the world, the Frenchman. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the Villarreal versus Real Madrid match?
I mean, yeah, like you said, Mbappe's actually like performing now. He has been for the past month or so. He's been looking like that player he's always been 2 years ago, and it's nice to finally see as a football fan. You enjoy to see Mbappe shine again like he was. Obviously, it was in the beginning it was shaky. Obviously, being offside so many times and not being able to find his feet in Madrid. You know, and he had so many high expectations ever since he was at Monaco or even PSG. You know, he was the player that was going to be the hire to Ronaldo, and it finally looks like it. We're seeing glimpses, we're seeing moments. I guess like idea was when Mbappe was going to finally find his feet, and now he is. But the other player in question, in my opinion, is Vinicius. I think he's been sort of they've switched roles. I think in the beginning of the season, I think Vinicius was on fire. He was the main man. Now it's kind of like the tables have turned. Vinicius is kind of slowing down. He's kind of losing. I wouldn't say losing his position, but he's losing that form, that confidence that a lot of Real Madrid fans have on him, and they're slowly gaining to Mbappe, and it's nice to see. But yeah, I mean it's a question. But yeah, I mean they get a win away at Villarreal. 2 goals by Mbappe, I think, were very, very great goals in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it just shows that I think Real Madrid are showing up now. They're finally reliving that team that they were, the winning team that since last season. And obviously, it shows now them going through the Champions League and now actually looking like a very dangerous team to win the La Liga as well. So yeah, I think as any other team, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, they have to keep their eye on this Madrid team now. They can't slip up.
Yeah, definitely. Huge win for them.
Yeah.
Definitely in a difficult Villarreal grounds. Villarreal is also one of the top teams, one of those teams that we're saying is pushing for a European spot. So it wasn't an easy win for Madrid. Number one, they coming off of a midweek match against Atletico Madrid. They did rotate players, right? Vinicius, who you spoke of, didn't start the match. He did come on as a sub, but didn't start the match, just as like I said, a rotation kind of idea. And then so it is important for them to be able to still win when they're rotating players, and then like when Vinicius for one isn't performing at this top level.
Yeah, they have other players there to fill in for his shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it is important, win in that aspect. And then for Kylian Mbappe to start heating up too. At this time of the year,
it's scary to be honest as a Barca fan, and then in general, Mbappe is obviously top 3. He could even be top 1 to be honest.
Yeah, and he's hitting his prime. He's entering into his prime currently. So
and he's only 26 years old still.
The Barcelona players are the ones that you expect to take the lead of the team. They're still young. They still have room to grow, but they're competing now against this Kylian Mbappe. So, but anyway, to continue the La Liga coverage, another one of the teams that we look into a little often is Real Betis. They're continuing to improve. When we initially started the podcast, or just talking about soccer sitting together, they're sitting mid-table.
Definitely,
closer to the lower part of the mid-table in the league. But they've hit some form in the last months. Right now, another victory this week against Leganés as an away team. Another goal from Isco. Assist coming from the GOAT Anthony, who he's taking advantage of his time away from Manchester United, and they're continuing to get points.
Yeah, I mean it looked very dangerous at the beginning. The first half actually, Leganés looked like they were gonna walk away with this win. They were already 2-0 ahead in the first half, and it didn't look like Real Betis even had a chance. Leganés had moments, and as well as Real Betis, but it looked like Leganés took their chances and very well. But yeah, I think one mistake from their goalkeeper, Dimitrovic, pretty much ruined the game for them. It was a horrible mistake. He had a heavy touch. He lost it. He fouled Bakambui, They got a penalty, and from then that energy changed. They took control of this match, and like you said, Anthony getting assists. Well, before that, it was Isco who scored the tying goal. It was a penalty, and then Anthony getting the assist for Cucho Hernandez. So yeah, they turned it around. They and like we said, they've been a team that have really come up, especially half of the season. I say that because a lot of the team this season have been kind of new. We have Cucho Hernandez signing in from MLS. Obviously, you have
Colombian,
the Colombian, and then you have the Brazilian Anthony moving from Man United to here. So yeah, it's a great summer the winter transfer for them. And yeah, I mean, it seems like they're doing the right decisions. They're obviously top six. And like you said, they're a team that's pushing for European football. And yeah, I mean, they get a win, a hard-fought win. But yeah, 3 points.
Another one of the games to highlight, the Sevilla against Athletic Club. Two also historic clubs. Athletic Club's currently in the fourth spot.
Yeah.
So in the Champions League push, and they get another victory against Sevilla this weekend. So they continue to be one of the top teams in Spain. And then the big matchup of today, of Sunday. Atletico Madrid hosting Barcelona, another important game at the Colchonero Stadium. But this time, but again, another tough loss.
Yeah.
Barcelona managing to get the victory in the late part of the game. They both took the lead, going 3-2 late in the game, and then they cemented the win with another goal late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Barcelona, Atletico Madrid guarantee you such an amazing match, and I think the past 2 or 3 games has been goal fested. The first 20 minutes of the game, Barcelona were in complete dominance, but Atletico would catch them on a break, and they look very dangerous. Obviously, the way Simeone plays ball, I wouldn't say anti-football, but he's a very defensive-minded coach. But this season, I think they've leveled up a lot. But yeah, they took on their goal or the lead in the first half with a beautiful, I guess, like counterattack on the left side, followed from, I think, Reinildo, sending it to Giovanni Simeone's son, Juliano, and then giving a very hard through ball to Julian to finish it nicely. And I believe they went, in the halftime, the half 1-0 up.
Julian, the Argentinian World Cup winner, Julian, scored late in the first game and in the first half, and 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it was so unlucky because I think Barcelona had a couple chances. Lamine Yamal had a very almost, I would have said, one of the best goals that I've seen. He cuts through like 2 defenders and shoots it, but it's kind of wide. And again, before the Julian Alvarez goal, Lewandowski had a clear shot. 50 seconds later, that's when they hit us with the goal. Luckily, we actually came back. We were down 2-0. A goal from, I believe, Alexander Sorloth. And I think that was very controversial, though, because before that play, I think Pedri had hit the ball. And it had made contact with Rodrigo de Paul's hand, and I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a handball. We're fine, but the referee counted it. Which was so weird, and it wasn't like very close to his. It was pretty away from his body. So I felt like personally robbed there. I didn't understand why he didn't give that call, but luckily Lewandowski scores an amazing goal. He controls it with his chest. He puts it down and. He does like a semi like Chilen or not chinela, but like tijera kind of like throw and scores an amazing goal. And then obviously Lamine Yamal scoring one of the best goals. It was a deflected goal from Reinildo, but still the way to finish it like that was amazing. And I think from then we just gained the confidence to get the win. Ferran scoring a double, which was amazing. It's going to give him more confidence. And yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining game. I was scared. I was excited. I was on top of the world. So it was a very intriguing match. And what a way for us to get 3 points and again stay on the top with a game in hand as well.
Roller coaster ride for Barcelona fans, I guess, in the match. You're thinking you're gonna be the number 3 team 1 minute right in the league, and then you end up just emphatic with an important win. Another tough loss if you're a Colchonero fan, right? Really a tough week, getting eliminated from the Champions League and then losing at home to Barcelona when you had an opportunity to bring them down in essence in the leaderboards, and then take a spot towards the league title. So
and they still have to face Barcelona as well for the second leg of the Copa del Rey, so it's going to be even tougher for them as well.
yeah. Hopefully they can stay in that fight, but
Yeah.
it'll be tough for them as well. Barcelona, pushing for the treble.
Yeah.
So the current standings in La Liga after today's games will show Barcelona the leaderboard at number 1 with 60 points, tied with Real Madrid at 60 as well. Real Madrid number 2 on goal difference, and the fact that Barcelona has a game in hand due to a postponed match last weekend. Atletico Madrid in number 3, followed by Athletic Club in the rounding off the European spot, the Champions League spots, and then Villarreal and Betis both at 44 points, 5 and 6, fighting for the Europa League. And then down in the relegation zone, so the relegation, again, to people who aren't familiar, is in some of these competitions, the bottom 3 teams go down to a lower level division. They go down to the second division, and in number 18 is Leganés, number 19 is Las Palmas, and then number 20 is Valladolid. And then the matches, the important matches coming up for next weekend for this La Liga race. Athletic Club against Osasuna. Let's see here. Espanyol will take on Atletico Madrid. And then Real Madrid will host Leganés. Barcelona will host Girona. And then Valencia will host Mallorca. Andrew, any of these any other games that you're looking forward to in La Liga next weekend?
I think the Athletic Club and Osasuna game would be pretty interesting. They're two teams. Obviously, Athletic Club are top 4, and obviously Osasuna are team in the top half of the league, so that'd be an interesting game. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna be watching the 3: Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. I think the pretty much the teams that are fighting for the league at this point. So yeah, those are the matches on my eye.
Makes sense. So moving on, elsewhere in Europe, in England, the English Premier League, it's pretty much done as far as the champion, in our opinion.
Yeah.
Liverpool is just they're too far ahead from the next team close to them in Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Liverpool did not play in the Premier League this weekend. They had a cup final in the Carabao Cup versus Newcastle United. Also an entertaining match. Yeah. This match went in Newcastle's way, so congratulations if you're a Newcastle fan. You were crowned in England in the Carabao Cup. A couple of goals from Alexander Isak.
I think, it was goals from Alexander Isak and Dan Burn with an amazing header.
Yes.
But I think it's such a beautiful story for Newcastle. I think it's been, 60 or 70 years since they won a major a major trophy in England, or I think in general. But it's amazing, obviously, for Dan Burn to score it. Pretty much be the scoring player at his boyhood club. He actually started at Newcastle, so it's such a beautiful story for the Geordies and everybody. It was amazing. Again, you've talked about Alexander Isak so much with high praise, and again, I think he just keeps showing that, and I think he's definitely in that race for I wouldn't say Ballon d'Or, but he's in that top 3 to 5 strikers in Europe and in the world in general. Again, as a Barcelona fan, I wouldn't say I'm happy to see Liverpool lose, but I don't like when teams are too overconfident. I think they won the league, but I heard shouts of them winning the sextuple, winning the Champions League and the FA Cup. And it's kind of like a bitter, sour, sweet moment for me in general, because I don't really like when teams talk a lot and they can't walk that walk, So
be humble, eh?
Yeah, I know, be humble. But yeah, I mean, congrats to Newcastle. But I mean, you have anything to say about the match?
No, just like I said, highlight Alexander Isak. He's just a top talent, and I hope that Newcastle can keep the team together.
Yeah.
It would, I know that they're trying to grow the club, right? They have new owners, and they're trying to bring top talent, in the last 4 years. So I do hope that they can stay together and not take the team apart, because I like to see the diversity in the English team as far as how many teams compete for
Yeah, yeah.
for all these titles in England.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
there's like 8 teams
Yeah.
competing for European League, but
Yeah.
I think this team's pretty young as well. You have like I think Tino Livermento's like 22, Anthony Gordon's still very young. You have the left back we talked a couple weeks ago, and
Hall.
Lewis Hall. So
Yeah.
it's a very mixed age team, but I think a lot of their players who are still pretty young can shine even brighter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be exciting.
Yeah, so that was again in England, not part of the English Premier League. That's Carabao Cup action in the Premier League on Saturday. One of the games that we wanted to highlight is Everton against West Ham, a 1-1 draw that Everton kind of rescued late in the game.
Okay.
West Ham going ahead with a goal from Soucek, and then they kind of just drew back after that, and Everton took advantage of that and got some momentum and went on and scored a tying goal. Edson Alvarez, the Mexican, not playing in that match. He just sat on the bench the entire game. But there was action from
Raul Jimenez, correct?
Raul Jimenez in the English Premier League. So just moving on from the Everton against West Ham. Other games of importance again in the league this weekend. Fulham against Tottenham. The game the featuring Raul Jimenez, the Mexican striker. He did get a chance to start. Didn't score in that game, but did have a lot of participation. I think he feels like there's a lot of pressure on him to score, but he kind of took weird shots. I felt like.
Okay, I mean, I think for him personally, he has like that level that he wants to show that he's still a top striker. But I mean, at the same time, he's 31, 32, so he should be more experienced. But yeah, I mean, for a side that won 2-0 against Tottenham, I wouldn't consider that too much pressure, But I mean, you had a lot of South Americans playing in that Fulham squad, right?
Yeah, William, the Brazilian, Andres Pereira as well, and then and Tottenham, the Argentino Christian Romero, playing in that matchup as well,
and Bentancur as well, correct?
Bentancur, yeah. I think he started the match on the bench.
Okay.
He might have. Elsewhere in the league, Arsenal, your team, Arsenal beating Chelsea, another London rivalry taking place today. Arsenal just enough to beat the Chelsea team.
Yeah, I mean, these wins don't really matter to me anymore, dude. We get one over our London rivals, but I mean, I wish these games and this energy would have came sooner, but in the league, and taking advantage of many matches. But I mean, we have bragging rights. I guess we can say London is red, but a comfortable 1-0 win. Hopefully, again, like we said, I think hopefully these matches are kind of like a warm up against Real Madrid. I think Bukayo Saka should be coming in soon, so that'd be interesting to have him back into our team. And I don't know if we can really push for the Champions League, but maybe a lucky semifinal or maybe even a final performance. But I think winning the Champions League would be difficult. But congrats to Arsenal, but I don't really see anything happening.
The match wasn't it felt like it was lacking something, and maybe it was that motivation that they're still fighting for the league, or Chelsea did climb to fourth. They did climb to fourth even with this loss. I guess they're still holding down the fourth spot. Manchester City can't seem to take advantage of Chelsea's lack of wins and stuff. But in fact this weekend they tied against Brighton. Manchester City, they looked like they were going to win it, right? They looked like they were going to go in it, but then they ended up just not holding,
not securing it, pretty much.
Yeah. Another shaky performance from the new the new defender, Krusenov. Is he from Uzbekistan?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But he was a weird performance.
Yeah. So the goal that opened the match for Brighton to go on and tie it. He was involved in that. Just kind of like fumbled, I guess, kind of, and then he knocked it into the net too.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Sucks.
He looks shaky, man. He looks shaky. 2-2 draw against Manchester City, and this was at home again. Another fumbling of points. Elsewhere, Nottingham Forest continuing to be one of the best teams with a 4-2 victory at Ipswich Town. With that, the current standings are still going to continue to see Liverpool at number one. Pretty far away from Arsenal. Liverpool with 70 points and Arsenal at 58, followed by Nottingham Forest with 54 and Chelsea at 49, rounding off the Champions League spots. And then down in the number fifth spot now at Manchester City. Manchester City now is like they're looking at themselves getting climbed by other teams. So they're sitting in the Europa League spot right now in England. But
it'd be so weird. That's so weird.
If they don't play European football, but it's a total possibility. If you look at the league currently, Newcastle is right behind them at 47. Also at 47 is Brighton. So with this tie, they go 1 point below Manchester City at 48. And then Raul Jimenez's Fulham is right there at 45. They're a victory, 3 points away from Manchester City, trying to get into the European competition. And then I think they get other. You're telling me they get other spots based on like the other tournaments, right?
Yeah, I know that below actually 6th or 7th, you get Europa Conference League as well. So that's a new competition that's been out for like a year or so. So that'll be even more embarrassing for City to go from Champions League winners like 2 years ago to going to the lowest of the low, European spot. There's teams from like, I don't know, from like fucking Uzbekistan or some other countries. So it'll be weird. But yeah, I mean, like, I think we always say this so much, it'd probably be annoying, but this league has so many competitive teams. Even, I think from like the difference between La Liga is you have 4 or 5 teams or 6 teams that will fight for a European spot. But this almost has like 10 teams, and so that's why it's so dangerous and why we love to talk about it so much, because the table keeps moving and every week, and there's always so much to fight for.
Aston Villa is still in it, right? They're currently in the Champions League. They're currently in the Champions League quarterfinals, and they're number 9 in the Premier League. So that just kind of explains what Andrew was saying, right? And then Bournemouth again, 44 points. They're number 10. They're still in that fight, So it is impressive. Down in 13, Manchester United, and then the teams in the lower part of the table, the lower 3 teams that are looking to go into the Championship, the second division in England, is Ipswich Town, Leicester City, and Southampton. Southampton, statistically, the worst team in the English Premier League since the English Premier League
has ever
started, with only 9 points. And then we're only saying that based on the points that they've been able to accumulate is the 9 points for them.
They should get a trophy for that, to be honest. That's the worst losers.
Cold.
They'll get a trophy for Tottenham. So.
Looking into next week of the action in the Premier League, I think one of the matches that I'm looking forward to, Arsenal against Fulham, another London clash, 2 teams from London. Arsenal, the number 2 in the English Premier League, and then Fulham with Raul Jimenez and the American
Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson on the left back. So it'll be a good match.
Yeah. A quick little fact. But in this Premier League table this season, right? How many London teams do you think are in this Premier League? I think I know the answer. We can look back at it, but just take a wild guess.
I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 much pressure. 6, 7. At least 7.
Okay, there are. But what teams did you think they were?
Chelsea and Tottenham.
Okay.
Southampton, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, and Fulham, and then West Ham is also from London.
So I believe that the 7 teams in the Premier League, you got them almost right. I think you said Southampton, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. There's actually Brentford.
Okay.
So they're all. So yeah. You said Arsenal, Fulham, West Ham. I believe Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Tottenham, and then Brentford. So that just shows how much competition and how many teams
there's
there are.
So many, there's so many, and London's huge. London's massive. So, it just reminds me of like other places like Sao Paulo that have a bunch of teams in that city. But But yeah, so a lot of London clashes coming up. Again, Chelsea against Tottenham, another London clash taking place next week.
And then another like town clash as well as Liverpool versus
Everton. Oh
So,
yeah,
that'll be
great
pretty
matchup.
interesting.
Their stadiums are practically right next to each other.
Yeah.
Andrew, see if you can clip a picture of how
yeah.
close those
We'll put it
stadiums
right
are.
here. We'll put it right here. But
Yeah, they're ridiculously close.
Yeah,
They're
it's like a 2-minute walk, man. It's so close.
and that just part of what adds to the
To the excitement.
to the flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the action next week from in England. So we'll look forward to those matches and to bring you some of that action here. Elsewhere in Europe, with action from our fellow Mexicans, Genoa 2-1 victory over Lecce. With action from Johan Vasquez as a starter there for Genoa, and then Milan, AC Milan taking on Como with a 2-1 victory of AC Milan with Santi Jimenez starting in that match. Not having a great match, not able to get on the scoreboard, but still a starter for AC Milan. Christian Pulisic, the American, did manage to get a goal there for AC Milan. So great job from him, from the American. We already know the quality that he has.
Yeah, it just keeps on. He's on fire, dude. He's still on fire.
Elsewhere in Europe, a huge shout out to Anderlecht and Chino Huerta getting an assist and a goal and just having another great performance out there in Europe. So
as a sub as well too, it's very nice to see. I feel like we don't talk about him or his time as much, but I think this performance kind of gave our eyes on him. I think we kind of all forgot that he was in Europe, but yeah, I mean it's great to see him. Bag of goal and assists as well as a sub. So hopefully he can keep on doing his work and his job at your Belgian league. I think he did play in the Conference League as well. I think his team did lose. I don't know to which team, but I think he did actually have his first minutes as playing at a European competition. So that's pretty interesting.
Awesome, great. Well, thank you for bringing us that information of Chino Huerta. And then I think that pretty much rounds up the European show. Thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate having you listening to us and then taking the time out of your day to just let us get in your ear a little bit. Good night, and thanks again for watching.
Bye-bye.